And boom. Okay. So now how do I get this link? I gotta mute that. So we're currently live.
We live.
Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, we are live. So you gotta find out how they get the if talk for a second.
Yes, I can talk as much as you would like me to. I think that's what we're gonna do tonight. No?
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to record an Adobe Audition, but it doesn't record you.
Oh, do you want me to record myself in Adobe Audition?
But no, that's not how they do it. But
no.
I'm not worried about it tonight. I'll figure it out. I'll talk to them about it. Okay. So hold on, let me get this link. View on YouTube. Okay, it's gonna do that double audio thing for a second.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not gonna. I'm gonna grab the link. Okay, that's gone. Hold on. And post. And just gonna do it on Twitter. Computer. Anybody that is in here, I apologize. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Alrighty. So, Bill, how you doing?
Yo, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm great. This is exciting. We're our second venture into the streaming platform here on the wonderful YouTubes.
Finally live. You would always say we are live after events, and we would never actually be live.
This is true, and yeah, now we are finally live. So, put this out to different social medias. Feel free to share if you're watching this, if you've jumped in. Basically, we're going to be talking about some things that we think you should be watching from our perspective, but also, maybe some recommendations, maybe some stuff you can tell us about if you are on the YouTube.
Yeah, get in the chat.
Yeah, there's a chat function here that you can feel free to drop a line, drop a suggestion, drop some hate, drop some love, whatever you want to drop. As currently constituted, we are found under the podcast Rossi on Wrestling. You can search that on iTunes. You can subscribe. That would be awesome. You can leave 5-star reviews. That would be even better.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, click,
please.
Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, so again, you can search Rossi on Wrestling. But tonight, we're not talking – well, there might be a little wrestling, but very little.
Teeny bit.
So again, that's Billy D. He's with me. I'm Jason Rossi. We're going to have some fun. We're going to be interactive. We are going to, again, just basically talk about some shows that you should be watching or movies or basically some media you should be checking out during this quarantine because it is going to be a rough few weeks. And let's just be honest. But you know what? It could be a lot of fun. And this is going to be a time we're going to remember the rest of our lives. So let's watch a bunch of TV and not do real things.
I mean, last night I had one of the better times I've had in a long time, and I was just playing Fortnite with a buddy from work. So
I was going to say, hey, what were you doing?
I got a little bit tipsy. I ordered some Wendy's at about 1:30 in the morning. Played about 3 hours of Fortnite.
Wait. Time out. Forget about Fortnite. You ordered Wendy's at 1:30 in the morning. How did it come to you?
Postmates, baby. Left it at my door.
So they just leave it at your door?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do? Did you go out with gloves, or how did you...
I did wipe down the bag. I'm a little bit of a germ freak. I got the rubbing alcohol right here.
And the real alcohol above that. But you can't make hand sanitizer with Tito's.
You can?
No, you can't.
Oh,
that's the whole thing. A lot of people online were saying you could.
I mean, if it's 70% alcohol, I mean, I don't think Tito's is, obviously. But the rubbing alcohol is, so that's good enough.
Yeah, that's fine. Again, who knows what's real, what isn't right now. But just be safe. But how was it? What did you get from Wendy's, most importantly?
I got a JBCB.
Nice.
Added pickles, 4-piece chicken nugget, and a small fry. I kept it simple. I just needed something. I didn't want to go overboard because I have been pretty good. I think I've lost like 6 pounds so far in the quarantine.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've been eating a lot better because I'm cooking for the most part. I actually did one takeout. I did do the Kowloon yesterday. As long as we can, we decided we're going to support local businesses once a week. With all due respect to local business. Yeah, and I guess
JC of the Jobber Knocker, I believe, ordered Kowloon yesterday as well.
Oh, we could have almost ran into each other. We
Yeah.
did not, but that's what me and my wife, the Din, have decided once a week, as long as before there's like a shelter in place, which will probably happen in about 10 minutes. Idle Hands is some local love. So I'm not going to go on any preachiness where a lot of people telling you like support local. It's like, listen, I don't know what your financial situation is. A lot of people getting laid off. Do what you can. I'm just letting you know that's what we're doing. So once a week, we're going to do that. Obviously, I went to Walmart today. Absolute S show. This thing was, oh my God, there was 1 million people there. I'm like, 6 feet my ass. It was like people were like rubbing up against me. I was freaking out, actually. It was nuts.
I went for a long drive today and just blasted some music. And
that must have been nice.
Yeah, it was fun. I think I'll probably do that once a day if I'm allowed, because I think it's going to get to the point where they're not going to allow people to be on the road.
We'll find out. We don't want to get too deep into that, but if they don't let us on the road, it's going to be nuts. Like I go for a run every day. That's the one thing that's really kept me sane, listening to either a podcast or some music. The rough roads of northern Boston, Tewksbury, Massachusetts. It's got to watch out. No sidewalks here. So running is a little scary.
Ooh, all right. But social distancing, probably easy. I mean, now when I try to go for like an hour walk every day, sometimes 2. Mm-hmm. Like people are like seeing each other and we're like parting like the ways. Oh, Kevin Silver in the chat.
Here he is. Yo, what up, Kev? If you again join in on this, we're going to start in just a moment. We're going to start telling you some of the things we believe you should be checking out. If you have suggestions,
dozen for us, which by the way, if you don't know, it's 11 things because Rossi screwed up one of our original top 10 lists. So it's not quite a dozen. It's not a baker's dozen. It's a podcaster's dozen. It's a top 11.
Yes. And so these are going to be things that we've checked out, some stuff that Billy's watching, or things that we just think you should be watching. For the most part, we've been checking out some different things and just talking about Bill. There you go.
Oh, it was the classic Todd Newman drive all the way up to world class and back.
Listen, whatever you have to do, I think we're having a little bit of a glitch here for a moment. Our Billy's glitching out. I don't know what you can see and what you can't see.
Back here?
Yeah, you're back.
All
okay,
right.
So let's just dive into it. So obviously we're all in quarantine, or you should be, social distancing. So there's tons of stuff out there to watch. Me and Billy, obviously, again, our podcast is Rossi on Wrestling. Subscribe to it, give it 5 stars. Could be some changes coming up. Will be some changes. We'll do some things, and you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it a lot, especially what you're going to hear today. So let's just get into the first thing. Top 11 things that, me and Billy have kind of different lists.
A little bit of What Have You Been Watching Lately by Wes.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to that podcast as well. If you listen to any other podcast, you love Pop Culture's podcast, always check out Mac and Goo, check out Dork Podcast for wrestling stuff. Obviously, we do that. Check out the Jobber Knocker. There's all of our shout outs. Again, Rossi on Wrestling. Give it a subscribe. Okay, so Bill, if you want to kick off with your first.
Yeah, number 11. I got it right behind me. A little bit of Community. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's one of my all-time favorite shows.
If you want Billy to just keep doing that, please just make a comment now.
No, it really is one of my all-time favorite shows. I think there's definitely 6 seasons. 6 seasons and a movie was the hashtag. It's one of the best written comedies of all time. You can just skip season 4, straight up skip season 4. I'll talk a little bit about how to watch.
Was that when they switched the network? Is that when they went to Hulu?
That's when Dan Harmon became a big piece of shit and decided to leave the show because of fights with Chevy Chase. He is also responsible for Rick and Morty. I'm not going to tell you to watch Rick and Morty. Everybody knows to watch Rick and Morty. If you're not watching it, that's your problem.
I just watched the same episode over and over and over again.
Which one?
I watched the Freddy, the first season, the one with Freddy.
Oh, yeah. That's good. How did I get the toilet paper?
Called them. We just called them.
Yeah.
Scott's was like, yeah, you guys doing a little live stream? Yeah. Sure. Here's a roll of toilet paper. And
I really don't understand the toilet paper thing. Again, like I have had this from BJ's for quite some time now. People, did you not have any toilet paper in your house? And did you feel the need to buy like 1 million rolls? Like it's not like it has nothing to do with your stomach, this disease, right?
No. Well, but here's what I've heard. And somebody told me this at Walmart today. They said, listen, if I'm trapped in my house, I will absolutely need toilet paper. I'm like, bro, if you're trapped in your house, I think toilet paper is the least of your worries. But anyway, so back to Community.
Oh, Community.
Barrett's I haven't pooped in days. That's not safe.
No, and you got a little kid too.
Seriously.
So I will 100% say this is a must watch. Like it's one of the all-time great technical TV shows. Like there are so many, I think, perfect episodes of comedy in this series. There's Annie's Move, there's the Halloween ones, there's the paintball episodes, which everybody really likes. I'm not that big a fan of it, but they do a spoof on everything that I love in like the history of TV. They do a Law and Order episode, and everything is like named like, you know, Friends is the one that blah 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 blah. This is everything's a class. So that one is basic lupine urology, which is like short for Dick Wolf. Like Remus Lupin was the.
Hold on, let me get my dictionary out.
Yeah, but like they just do a great job of everything. Like it's very tropey. Dan Harmon tries to flex his, you know, comedy genius and his TV writing abilities in the show, and he is really really good. But he is a giant dick. That's why the show ended, and that's why they had that shitty season 4. And they went to Hulu. I think they went to YouTube at one point. But I think, what did I write down here? You can get it on Hulu if you have a subscription. Yes. It's on there. And then pretty much everywhere else, you can buy each episode for $1.99.
Yeah, I've seen it on iTunes. I've seen it on YouTube and a couple other outlets.
And then I think it's rumored to be going to Netflix soon.
Really?
Yes.
First of all, Kevin, I just want to mention this post real quick. Great idea. Something I'm sure we can work out now that me and Billy are starting to work out some of our kinks here. Yeah.
I mean, we're down to do that.
Sure.
I put out a formal challenge to Mac and Goo for a Pictionary session. So
if you watch our last stream, if you were one of the few viewers there, don't lick my fingers. I just took a shower. I promise you, my hair never looks this in place. Anyways, I got all confused there from Kevin yelling at me about licking my fingers. It tastes good.
Yeah, you gotta
just
sometimes
I didn't touch my face. I didn't touch my face. You can't see me. Anyways,
you gotta lick the fingers to warm it up every once in a while.
Yeah, real quick when it comes to Community. It was a show I remember watching the first few seasons. I was like at the tail end of my like very infatuated time with television. I was watching literally everything, and that was laugh out loud funny. You mentioned the Halloween episodes, which always were my standouts. Certain shows, like I love the OC. Me and my wife just streamed that. That's not going to be on my list, but like they had the Christmas episode, which was a mixture of Hanukkah and Christmas, and those are like standout episodes. I'll always go back to it at the holiday season. So Community has some great Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just never stuck for me. It was not a show I, for whatever reason, went to stick with. So it might be one that's good to pop on. Just for like, you know, S's and giggles.
Yeah, I mean Troy and Abed. It's one of the greatest, you know, not even black and white, buddy friendships. Like I'm a big fan of that in comedy. Like I love Psych, I love Scrubs. It has that, you know, duo dynamic with those two, and it's a great friendship to watch. The whole show's great, so that's my number 11.
All right, for me, it's quick. It's really goofy and doesn't make a ton of sense, but I went with like just a show if you just need something just to watch. I'm a big fan of music. I'm also a fan of really bad reality TV shows at times, and for me, it's The Masked Singer. If you've never watched The Masked Singer, which I don't blame you if you haven't, just during these trying times, it's a perfect show to just pop on, have yourself, you know, a laugh, and hear some old music, and then like you're always a little surprised by who some of these people actually are that are doing this show.
Wasn't one like Sarah Palin or something I saw?
I don't know. Spoiler. No, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Like, there's been people like Shaka Khan. There's people in the past from like Lil Wayne. It is interesting because you're hearing people. It's a very dumb show, a very overproduced. Like the production show is very ridiculous. But I would just say that it's a show that I would just recommend if you're looking for something just completely goofy. It's on any streaming service. I believe for free. If you have cable, it's on demand. If you have I use YouTube TV.
I mean, I assume some of these people are really bad too, like karaoke bad.
No,
they're all good.
The ones I've watched, I've considered all the people that have sang really good. Obviously, Shaka Khan's a professional singer, so she was on there. Tony Hawk was one of them, and he actually, I was like, never would have guessed that. Yeah,
one of the greatest video games of all time, and a good voice.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend if we're going to ever do an N64 countdown of like time spent. I spent a lot of time playing Tony Hawk, and I never owned the game. That was good times. But yeah, so that's my number 11. It is The Masked Singer. Billy, what is your number 10?
My number 10, and this one is a little bit sentimental to me because I started watching this when I had a giant knee injury, probably like 3 years ago.
Which one?
I tore my patella.
Okay.
And I was out of commission big time. I was like,
that was at the house. That was the night I was coming over. We were supposed to have the big reunion. I left the Red Sox games because of that.
Yep. I tore it pretty bad. I was bedridden for about a full month. So it was this kind of situation. I didn't leave the house except to go to the doctors. So I'm used to this quarantine type feeling. and I started watching Twin Peaks. And I think I got you to watch Twin Peaks.
You sure did.
Dale Cooper, coffee, donuts, all of that stuff. It's got just such a nice feel to it. It hooks you right away with a story, like right out of the gate. It's no spoiler. There's a death in the town. They're trying to solve it. And they bring in Dale Cooper, who's probably, and we should do this list at one point, probably a top 3 character for television in the 90s. He is unbelievably good. There's so many other good characters in this. It's really weird. It's before whoever the creator of the show is gets like out of his mind weird. And it's still I forget his name. The blonde dude. They did season 3 of Twin Peaks, which
who is the creator?
Do not watch. Cooper? No.
My wife. David something.
Yeah, Harmon. No.
Lipschitz. David Lipschitz.
No, what's his name though?
It doesn't matter. So, anyways, no, I completely agree with you, Bill. Twin Peaks is amazing. It was a show way ahead of its time. For anybody, my wife is very excited about this part. Anybody who's into any form of like not truly sci-fi, but not like normal. Like
it's pretty sci-fi.
Yeah, but it doesn't get deeply sci-fi, I think, until like the 3rd season, which we're not including. I don't want to say in this right now.
That is a skip. The first 2 seasons are amazing.
Yeah, the first season specifically is so damn good. It's so compelling. It's like the beginning of the really dynamic, large cast where, most shows have like their A cast, like your 4 to 5 characters, and you have a B with like 3 to 5, like your Newmans on Seinfeld. But this show had so many dynamic characters. And every time you saw them, like the second time, you're like, oh, I can't wait to see how they tie into all this. The show definitely dropped the ball in some ways. I don't want to spoil anything because I want you to watch it, you, the viewer, because Twin Peaks is definitely worth your time. It is a fun watch. The first 2 seasons is a lot of fun.
It's all about the ride. It's all about the enjoyment of it. I mean, you might not be getting exactly what you look for in the finale of season 2, but the show in itself is just an amazing watch. Really well done. A lot of things I had never seen before in TV. They take risks, and I tweeted it out today. John Cena said, when you get a chance to, make content, just go for it. Like, and I think that this show epitomizes going for it. So that is my number 10.
And my number 10 is a show I've never watched. By the way, definitely Twin Peaks is almost like a must. If you have nothing going on, if you have time, especially if you've been laid off, waiting to collect unemployment, it is a great show to stall some time.
And a great theme. Not good enough to make it into the 64 for Mac and Goo. Get out and out. But
no, first of all, they didn't have Family Matters on there. Travesty. Oh my god, it's iconic, but you can't have them all. It is a cool theme, just eerie show, fun. And Dale Cooper, like we said, one of the most dynamic characters. You love him so much if you watch more than like 3 episodes. You're just gonna fall in love with the guy. Coffee and cherry.
Cherry pie.
So my number, we still on number 10. Just going slower than I thought. My number 10 is Ozark. Never seen it before, so I'm going to be honest. The reason it's on here,
the first season. I've seen the first season.
The reason it's on here, it's about to become my new show. I'm about to watch it. I'm going to get into some shows I'm currently watching, but right now for me, Ozark, I've never seen it. A lot of people have told me really good things about it. I'm really looking forward to it. Big Jason Bateman fan. I know
it's really, really good.
Yeah, and Ben Mendelsohn, is he in Ben Mendelsohn in this one? Or was that Bloodline? Anyways,
so I'll give you a little bit of insight on the show.
Please.
It's basically Arrested Development without comedy.
Okay, so I hear it's like kind of like not Breaking Bad in the sense that it's like that like the same story, but I hear it's kind of like in that realm with like money and like shady things and people not disagreeing with each other and how to do things. So so Ozark to me, I'm not even going to get that deep into it because I haven't seen it. I'm just letting you know that's on my list. I'm going to start probably watching that in the next, could be tonight after this stream. So I'm definitely looking forward to because I know the 3rd season's coming out very shortly.
All right, so I'll go quickly on this one because it's not, I don't want to say it's not one of my favorites, but Marry Me, NBC, 1 season. It was an incredible comedy. It was about, a young couple just getting married. There was one character in there who just got freshly divorced.
Jason Biggs? Is Jason Biggs in this?
It's the dude, Ken Marino. Ken Marino. Okay. And then the girl I find really attractive from Happy Endings, the dark-haired girl. I forget her name. But
awesome. I remember the show.
But there are so many good lines. It's 1 season. It's free on Crackle. That's a free app to download. You can get it on Crackle. Yep. The first episode it knocks it out of the park. It's just a fun little 22-minute classic NBC comedy. Didn't get picked up again, but I would highly recommend it. There's a dude in the show who reminds me a lot of the guy from The Hangover, like the little guy.
Which one? Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah, like he's a Zach Galifianakis light, and
Okay.
he's probably my favorite character on that show. It's a great show, easy to watch. It's free, so download Crackle and take a look.
I haven't heard Crackle since I think that's the last place that Sports Jeopardy was on. My number 9, it's going to be a little running theme here, is the movie The Hunt. It's a movie that I was actually looking forward to seeing in theaters. Me and my wife love seeing movies. We were doing Tuesday nights, like basic religiously, going to see movies. The Hunt is a movie about what looks like people are being set up to basically just like as pawns to be manhunted. So like you would go off, I don't know how it's set up, but basically the trailer was like, oh, you look like you're going on some like vacation. You're going to be manhunted by some rich people because that's what they do for fun.
Oh, this is the girl from Glow.
Better Call Saul.
And her too?
That's the girl Oh yeah, I think yes. So it just looks really, it's really good. It looks really interesting. I would recommend it's right now. So I don't know how much it is, but I think it's on Fandango. Fandango is doing like most of the movies that have been released in the last like 5 weeks are now on there for you to stream. I don't know the cost. Not going to tell you what to do with your money because that's not the type of person I am. But I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's one of the ones I have on my short list that I probably will spend money to see. Regret it afterwards, like most horror scary movies. But this one, I'm just more intrigued by it. There was a movie a couple of years ago called The Balco Experiment, basically about a bunch of people that were in a work and the work got locked down. And every 10 minutes, a certain amount of people needed to die.
Oh, yeah. That looked good. Was that good?
I really liked it. It reminded me, it was like a kind of, without giving away any endings, kind of reminded me a little bit of Cabin in the Woods. Like there's like a bigger kind of thing going on.
That's another thing I have to see. Everybody's told me I have to see.
I know you're not a big horror movie person, but Cabin in the Woods is 10 times more funny than it is scary, and it's just like a really fun watch. That's a little throw in, but yeah, this kind of gives me the vibe that's going to be like the Balco Experiment. So I would recommend those movies too if you just are want to see people die. Right now, I'm not so much into the dark stuff because there's enough dark stuff going on.
Yep. All right. And in that theme, I think we're on number 8, right?
Yep. Number 8.
My number 8 is Arthur, the original with Dudley Moore. Keeping it light here.
I thought you were about to say the cartoon.
Oh, no. I mean, if you want, why not? That is the most trouble I've ever got in professionally in my life is we did an Arthur cartoon and we were accused of bleaching his skin.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You remember that, like the meme with his hand? Like
Yeah.
we did it like lighter, but there was so many iterations of Arthur that like we like had to screen grab it and compare it and show people like, hey, we're not being racist. He has many different skin colors. Because like when I do the cartoons, like we'll just color pick it, and it wasn't even me who did this one specifically. It was a buddy of mine, and like things got ridiculous. But Arthur, the Dudley Moore movie,
Yes.
is one of the most underrated. Like it's an amazing '80s comedy. He's a lovable drunk. What is it? The Lucille 2 from Arrested Development is the other main character. And the butler in this movie, Hobson, is one of the all-time great movie characters. He has so many dry, great one-liners. Like there's a girl that spent the night that is waiting to like leave, and she's like stuttering, and he's just like, I eagerly await your next syllable. Or like he's like, I'm gonna take a bath. I'll alert the media. Like he is one of the best characters of all time. I'm not even kidding. Like that's hyperbole, but he really is great.
No, it's a fun movie. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I think that's one maybe like I used to have an aunt that lived downstairs from me with like a DVD collection to die for. It was literally like Blockbuster. And I remember that being in there. That's where I got a lot of my original movies or like older movies, like taste, I guess you could say. Real quick, I have a couple people mentioning some stuff. I rather just kind of let you know. I got one for The Circle. Did you ever watch The Circle on Netflix by chance?
No.
Okay, I didn't put that on my list, but that's a must. I made a mistake by not. It was something I watched over Christmas time when my son was first born. A completely goofy. It's a reality show based on you not knowing the person. So basically, it's all through like a chat, which is called The Circle. So they live in an apartment complex, don't see each other, and then like can make up or kind of create their own profiles and like try to basically win a game. It's weird, but it's a lot of fun. The Circle, Netflix. My actual number 8 is The Invisible Man. Another one just like The Hunt.
Have you seen it?
I have not. Well, I've seen the Kevin Bacon one, which was really weird. But I have not seen the new one. It's also on my list. I know it's also on Fandango and streaming services. It's another movie that was released, I think, 2 weeks ago. Obviously, with everything being shut down, not allowed to go to the movies to see it. So that's one I'm going to want to check out. I know it's with the woman from Handmaid's Tale. I believe the actual Invisible Man. I can't remember. I know John Cena's somewhere in this movie, but I do recommend checking it out.
The Kevin Bacon one, was that the one where they outlaw singing and dancing in his town?
No, that is a different movie.
Oh, that's a different one?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's Tremors.
Ah, there we go.
Because if you ever notice in that movie, if you sing or if you dance, those weird slugs that are under the ground will kill you. By the way, that movie we used to watch every single year at my aunt's house on
Tremors? I hated that movie. Oh, God.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
That and Critters used to creep me out when I was a kid. All those 80s. Like
Tremors gave me legit, like that was like, somebody posted the tweet a while ago, what movie frightened you when you were little? And mine was that. It was for me. Arachnophobia.
Oh, arachnophobia is effed up. The scene when Jeff Daniels, when the spiders are coming down and he's like shrinking down. It's like, bro, first of all, punch a spider. No offense. But aside from that, it is terrifying. John Goodman gets absolutely destroyed by a million spiders. No thanks.
And there's an episode of Punky Brewster that I got scared by.
Yes, when they win the cave. Yes. They win the cave.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
No thanks. No thanks.
So number 7, this is kind of time appropriate. It is The Last Man on Earth, which is pretty similar to how this exactly goes right now. I believe a virus outbreak happened in the year 2020 that killed basically everybody on Earth. It's what's his name? The dude who plays MacGruber. He's an absolute national treasure. Why can't I think of his name right now? But the show's really, really good. There's a lot of
Will Forte.
Yes, Will Forte. Absolutely. Like, if you like Will Forte, if you like
Billy might have died off again. He's gonna say if you like MacGruber, you're gonna like this one. One thing you fell off again, but continue.
Jesus. All right. So it's free on Hulu. It's $1.99 per episode on YouTube and like a few other services. Definitely go check this out. It's another show that I watched when I hurt my knee. So it is a good, like, you'll just get right into it and you'll binge it. It's a lot of fun.
It was a show I watched the first season. Then when like more people came on, I was getting a little confused by it, but I just gave up on it. I'll be honest, but I've heard nothing but good things and definitely something, especially if it's on Hulu. And I believe is it an hour or a half hour?
It's a half hour, 22 minutes.
The best.
And it doesn't have a real ending. They kind of leave it on a cliffhanger and the show got
I think there's going to be a movie, I heard.
Ooh,
or they're trying.
I'll take that. It's a great show. January Jones is in it. And then the goofy girl who is in like everything. Just watch the show.
The goofy girl is in everything. Oh, her. I know exactly what you're talking about. The curly girl.
She was in 30 Rock as like Kenneth's like other whatever the hell they were later.
She's on the judging board of the cutest baby contest, and I think you should leave. Also just guaranteed. Sorry, that's on the list too. But
I mean, if you're watching this podcast, this live stream right now, you know it. I think you should leave this.
Yeah, there's a great meme. I'm not going to say it out loud, but there's one about using Bozo dubbed over, and one of the things he said, and it just says when you click incognito mode on your phone, and it just shows the clown, you're about to,
about to jack off.
It's great. All right. Anyway, so then my number 7 is Curb Your Enthusiasm. Not an original thought here, but this last season has me hysterically laughing more than most seasons and what I expected it to be. I wasn't expecting to like really die laughing. It's a show that I think this is 11th or 10th season, and you're like, okay, like at this point, like what are they still doing this for? But it's so good.
I watched the first season. I loved it. But every episode, I felt like I was watching Scott's Tots episode of The Office. Everything is so third-person embarrassment, which, by the way, is a term I coined in college. And it's just like the episode that I watched with you at your house was like 7 Seinfeld episodes in like 10 minutes. And
that was the premiere of this year.
It was all ridiculous. I felt so uncomfortable watching it.
Honestly, that's the thing. At some points watching the show, you get very uneasy because you're like Larry David's character as himself is so ridiculous, and the things he does. This season too, he basically creates a secondary cafe because he hates this guy called Mocha Joe so much that he makes a place called Latte Larry's. Oh my God, he creates these urinals that adjust the urinal size, adjust to how tall you are, and it's like an open door. I can't even do this show justice. Some of the stuff they put on there, it's absolutely absolutely hilarious. So that's my number 7. Number six.
We're going to go to the core of the podcast, what the podcast was originally about, which was Rossi on wrestling. So I'm going to throw this at you. It's my favorite match of all time. It is Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio Jr., Halloween Havoc, 1997. You can search, like if you just type that in, it'll come up with a way to watch it on Instagram, a way to watch it on YouTube. If you have the WWE Network, you don't even need it. It's everywhere online. It is a pure classic wrestling match. I'll get quickly through that because I know there's probably people watching, if there's anybody watching that doesn't like wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
All right. But even if you don't like wrestling, this is the art at its highest form. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, 97, Halloween Havoc. That's my number 6.
And what they're wearing is also kind of stands out. It's really cool. Like just the costumes itself.
Yeah. I mean, Rey Mysterio's he looks like a superhero. He's wearing all purple with like a question mark on his forehead. He actually looks like one of the South Park superheroes. Like Mysterio, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, my next one, and this is one I think that's on both of our lists, Big Mouth on Netflix. Sorry, spoiler for yours. This show, I actually fell in love with it in the beginning when it first was, first on. Then I fell off. Like the first 2 seasons, I think are so funny. Like absolutely laugh out loud. I would go.
Making thick in the warm, man. I mean,
Coach Steve.
Doesn't get any better than Coach Steve.
Seriously, and I just started watching the 3rd season. Like I'd never really.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I just watched the Valentine's Day episode again. I've seen that one before. Oh my god,
that one's unbelievable. That isn't even part of that season. I don't think. I think that was a standalone they just put out first.
Yeah,
but Jason Mantzoukas. If you like Jason Mantzoukas, you will love Big Mouth. And this is my number 5, so we can just go to my number 5 right now and talk cohesively about it. But Maya Rudolph, who our friend Lauren doesn't like to think she looks like,
which is a compliment. It's a compliment.
Yeah, not like her now, even like the youngest attractive version of Maya Rudolph. Our friend Lauren looks exactly like her. There's just, what's his name? I don't even like Nick Kroll a lot. Like sometimes I love him, sometimes I hate him. Like I've seen his stand-up, that show he did on Comedy Central I wasn't all about.
Oh, the Kroll Show? I love the Kroll Show.
Really?
Did you like him in The League?
Oh my god, that's another one. Freebie. Yeah. The League. If you haven't seen it and you like anything to do with sports, watch that.
Or have friends.
Yeah, he's great in that. Yeah. I mean, that is basically our life. But Big Mouth, can't recommend it enough. If you don't like that kind of humor, give it 3 episodes. And if you don't like it after that, let's not be friends.
There you go. All right. Simply put. All right. So I guess I'll jump into my number 5, which I have as, unfortunately, this is kind of sad, but I was watching some stuff today. It's old Tom Brady games as a Patriots fan. They had a whole marathon today on ESPN. And I said, I'm not going to watch this. I'm not going to get sentimental about it. Honestly, I thought this wouldn't hurt till like 10 years from now. It stings like a bee right now. I saw that thing that Robert Kraft put in the Tampa Bay Times, and people are calling that now Tampa Bay Times, the TB Times. I'm like, F you. This is all plot. Anyways, but just watching old highlights of Tom Brady, especially those early like 2001 to 2004 games. Oh my God, those are some of the best because he wasn't this guy. You didn't go into every Patriots game thinking you're going to win. They're just so exciting. There's so many games during that era that you could just sit back on YouTube, ESPN, NFL Network. They're on demand. It's just awesome stuff.
So I thought Tom Brady was done for a long time. I really did.
Like done like career?
Yeah. Like I thought like 2012, I was like, he might be all done. And then the 2013 season, the season where he had Austin Collie and all those crappy receivers, and he dragged them through a couple of games. That Saints comeback, he almost had a comeback against the Bengals. He had a great comeback against the Browns. And I was like, all right, this guy's still got it. And then he delivered, 3 more championships?
Yep.
So some of those games in that 13 season, like the Saints one for me is one of my all-time favorite games, and then the Ravens AFC Championship game comeback where they had
dive over.
Oh my God. It's just one of, like, obviously you're spoiled being a Boston sports fan, but what a special time to live in. And I'm kind of glad he's gone because it's going to make this season so much more exciting. I think you just the Patriots screwed it up. Like they ruined this. They could have gave him a long-term contract a long time ago. Like, I don't talk sports anymore, but I will shit on the Patriots because they did a terrible, terrible job handling this in the media, handling Tom Brady. If you wanted this to be your guy, once Garoppolo was gone, I was like, okay, Tom Brady for life now. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, you should have just signed him to like a Bret Hart 20-year contract and just let him decide when it's over.
You ruined it. Like, you guys ruined it. If you had made the move to Garoppolo, people would have been fine with it by now. You'd be in contention.
It should have happened. It should have happened after that. I remember thinking after they beat, what was the suspension year? That must have been the greatest comeback year. Yeah.
14.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was, no.
No, 15.
15.
No, 16. Because they
won the Super Bowl. It was when they beat Atlanta. Yeah, that might have been.
16.
That should have been it. He should have retired after that. Instead of saying he had all the answers to the questions, he should have pieced out. Garoppolo could have taken over. And I thought, like, as Patriots fans, we would have been okay with that. Never a better moment in his career since that point.
I mean, he won another ring. And
I know, but I'm just saying that was the pinnacle. But anyways, I'm just recommending go back, watch these games, watch that Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl, go back, watch the Panthers Super Bowl. These are some of the best games. Unfortunately, even some of the losses, like they're great games. Tom Brady will always go down as one of the best, sports athletes to watch their games because some of the things he did were just so remarkable. You mentioned that Saints game. It's just like there's the Buffalo Bills, the first week of 2009 when he came back. It's just stupid.
Ben Watson back in the end zone. The last thing I'll throw in here real quick is I love the 49ers loss on Sunday Night Football. That was the Randy Moss.
Oh, yes.
Game. That game.
With Colin Kaepernick's like third
in his
star.
prime.
And he hit Randy Moss in the corner of like the 50 and he just burnt everybody.
Patriots almost won that game. I think that's the greatest Tom Brady loss ever. Oof. He was amazing. That should be an ESPN Classic game because everybody forgets about that game.
Yeah, that's interesting. I probably have to say, unfortunately, well, just because of the circumstance, probably the Philadelphia Eagles? Super Bowl. But for what you're talking about, like a game when they were down like 31 to like 10, I feel
crazy. It was
pouring out. It was a big rainstorm. I remember I had tickets to that game. But anyways, yeah, just go back, check out some Tom Brady games. It'll make you feel a little bit better and a lot bit worse.
Okay, so now from 4 on here are things I feel really passionate about. So my number 4 is my favorite movie of all time.
Casablanca.
Might be trumped on this list. I may have a new favorite at the end of this list. But Clue, the original Tim Curry in his prime, one of the greatest dry comedies of all time. And the reason that I love this so much is because it's echoed in so many of the things that I've watched for the rest of my life. So many different types of shows that I've watched have done tributes to Clue. Psych has them all over the place. Community has them all over the place. Some people have done specific Clue spoof episodes.
Yes.
It's to me, it's like a must for a pop culture person. Just the 1 + 1 + 2 + 2. Like, just go watch it. It was one of the
Steiner math going on.
Yeah, I grew up watching it with my sister. For some reason, it was on Comedy Central like every weekend. So we would always watch this, and we would always watch the movie Friday. There's another freebie for you.
Yeah, Clue, I can't second that anymore. Clue is an excellent movie. I just love the end because there's multiple endings, and what really is the ending? It's really up to you. I remember when Knives Out was coming out, which also a great movie, another recommendation. It was like people were trying to pretend, like, oh, it's the new Clue. It's nothing like that. It's not to deter you from seeing Knives Out. Knives Out was a really fun movie, and I had a really weird movie experience seeing that one. But story for another time.
One of my favorite movie theater experiences in years was Knives Out.
Who'd you go with?
I went on a date, actually.
Of course. Did you do the old popcorn trick?
Nope, we just held hands. It was quite cute.
Oh, held hands. You know what's funny? I'll just tell you this quickly, and we will save. Maybe we'll have a Knives Out episode in the future. I will tell you this. I basically held hands with somebody, too, during that. And it wasn't my wife.
Oh. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Was it JJ?
He wasn't born. Anyway, so well, I kind of was touching him, I guess, at one point. But anyways, so no, not like that. So yeah, I forget even Clue. Yeah, it's just a fantastic movie. I completely second what you said.
Oh, is Kevin calling Clue? Did he say Clue? Mark boom. Oh,
Clue. Yeah, you weren't paying attention. Also, there was one of those.
Oh, a Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. Yeah, we already got a Big Mouth. Big Mouth was part of it. That was kind of what we had. Yeah, Clue.
So that's my number 4.
All right, so my number 4, and tying into what we do, and actually on ESPN as we currently stand, is WrestleMania 30. For me, it's all WrestleManias. This time of the year, whether you're somebody, no matter who you are watching this or not, you have been a fan of a wrestling at some point, and there's a WrestleMania moment that stands out to you. I recommend go and watch that stuff. Wrestling currently is the only live entertainment. Oh, UFC. that is currently still airing. So I take pride in that as a wrestling fan. It's cool. Whether people think it should be happening or not, that's fine, however you feel. But going back watching this morning, I watched WrestleMania 10. I watched WrestleMania 13. I watched WrestleMania 14. I showed 13 to my son. He was having a ball. But I will.
One of the worst WrestleManias of all time. I believe Blake went to that one, and that was the dance I was doing because probably about.
No. That's WrestleMania 11 that he went to.
Oh, really?
13 was in Chicago.
Oh, you're right. Well, to your point, like it was like 15 years ago now, maybe. Like
we rewatched everything.
Yeah, we rewatched them all, and I think I was in my early 20s. Yeah,
I think it was 11 years ago.
So we got together pretty much like 5 nights a week.
It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I mean, for like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But Friday and Saturday, we'd watch at least 2 to 3, especially those early ones when they were only like 3 hours.
Yeah, we'd watch a ton of WrestleManias together. Our friend Blake would put on the song and just dance the whole time.
I can tell you when the last time that song aired during WrestleMania was WrestleMania 14.
All right, fair enough. That could have been a wrestling theme because that was fire.
It was Linda McMahon's theme actually for a little.
Was it really? That's great. Yeah, I can't recommend WrestleManias enough, especially that like meaty curve of like 17 to like 20.
So I'll give you, if you want, I think we should do maybe a top 11 on this, but real quick ones, if you just are saying, oh yeah, give me some nostalgia. Any of the early ones, I don't think they were good, but if you're like a Hogan fan, obviously 1 through 9 is like the Hogan era. For me, the ones I would recommend is, I want to say 10, but 10 actually kind of blows except for one match, but 10, 17, 19, 30, 31. For me, those you can't go wrong. There's nostalgia and there's just amazing matches.
My favorite is WrestleMania 8 because Bobby the Brain Heenan is prime Bobby the Brain Heenan. A lot of great matches. Macho Man versus Ric Flair. Fantastic match.
Would you say again too?
What? Ric Flair. Woo! Great match. WrestleMania 8. Definitely. I mean, if you like Bobby Heenan, like if you like good commentary, that's the one to go to.
And you like us.
Yes. So, all right, my number 3, I'm going to make this quick because not a lot of people know about it, but I recommended it to a friend in
You recommended me once.
Yes, Sirens. Kevin, who's I think believing is still in the chat, can vouch for this. Sirens, it's basically a little bit like Scrubs. It's like a Scrubs light. Mm-hmm. Fantastic 22-minute comedy. It's on Hulu. It's on YouTube. It's on Prime. It's on iTunes. It's on Google Play. Go watch this show if you like Scrubs, if you liked Community, if you liked The Office.
If you like sex.
If you like sex. This show is hilarious. There's a character on it, Brian, who's one of my favorite characters in the history of television. Again, Hyper Billy. There's a guy in the show named Billy who's an amazing character. JC of the Jobberknocker, and I believe Nestle can vouch for me that this show is fantastic. Go watch Sirens.
If you like the taste of those guys, then you'll like the taste of Billy, and you'll like the taste of Sirens. It was good. It was only 2 seasons, right? Did they even get a second season?
2 seasons, yeah, 2 seasons.
It's a lot of fun. I used to watch it that was another like waking up in the morning show. My wife was getting completely annoyed because I just watched like the same few episodes over and over again. And if you're a dude, Sirens. Remember Sirens? She's looking at me like, what show are you talking about?
Yeah, that. I thought you were talking about Family Guy.
No, not Family Guy. If people obviously got to be.
Yeah, we don't need to recommend that.
Like those are the shows we're not going to recommend. Anyways, I'll jump into my. Bill is getting lit over there, by the way. For the next one these are stuff that I've watched or been watching or currently watching. For me, this one is The Sinner. Just in general, the show The Sinner is really, really well done. Bill Pullman is I don't like to ever say like a renaissance of his career because I don't know really what these guys do.
Is that guy from Independence Day?
He sure is. He was the president. President that rolled up his sleeve to go kill some aliens. But yeah, I would say that this show, it's on its 3rd season right now, which is pretty weak, the 3rd season, to be honest. I'm having a tough time getting through it, but the 1st season is incredible. It's with Jessica Biel. There's no spoilers, but the show starts with Jessica Biel brutally murdering a man on a beach and you don't know why. And then it kind of unravels and you get through all this stuff and it goes to all these mind and like past and like how little things affect us when we're like from the past and how it comes up to the future. It's a really good show. Bill Pullman is fan-freaking-tastic. The 1st season, Jessica Biel, who I don't really think people look at as like this great actress, and I definitely don't.
Oh, she's amazing. Have you seen Chuck and Larry?
Yeah, well, she's great to look at, and she was awesome in Summer Catch, one of my favorite movies of all time for some weird reason to this day. But she definitely is not known for her acting chops. I think there's something about when she started tooling with Justin Timberlake, she just became a really good actress. In that first season, I highly recommend. Second season, good. Third season's kind of tough to watch and don't really get what the hell's going on, and I'm not compelled by it. But the first season of The Sinner, definitely go check it out. I'm currently watching the third season, but I'm not going to sit here and say, go watch it.
Who's the guy everybody compares to Bill Pullman? Is it Bill Paxton? Is that the guy that?
Well, I think that's just because they both have the same
yeah.
But yeah, that's usually
Bill
the guy.
Pullman was also in Lake Placid, right?
I
believe so.
Definitely. I saw that Alligator.
That's a great movie. That's a movie I saw.
That's a horror movie, by the way. So
it is. In high school days, when I would go on dates to the movies, that was a big one. I think I went to see that twice.
Did you hold hands in that movie too?
And maybe a little necking too.
Ooh, watch out! But now the popcorn trick comes out.
So let's go to second base here.
Yeah.
Number 2. I have a lot of favorite shows. So this is my favorite show of all time over Seinfeld. Kevin agrees. Sirens is good stuff. So go watch that. But Psych.
Oh, that's right. Bill Pullman, the dad and Casper. Thank you, Laurie.
There you go. Psych is my favorite show of all time. It's free on Amazon Prime. I've been telling Goo of Mac and Goo to watch it for a long time because it's a show right up his alley. The other Billy D on Twitter. By the way,
there's like 8 Billy Ds.
I know, right?
Somebody like followed me, and I thought you created like a burner account. It was like not Billy D. I was like, who's this dude?
Right? It's catching on. Wildfire. But Psych. I think this is the perfect. It's an amazing show because I don't think
my wife loves Psych.
It's incredible. Like Blake and Gillette are good friends. They loved it for a long time, and they didn't tell me about it because they thought I would ruin it for them, and I probably would. But this show is amazing. It's got the best friendship of any comedy of all time. And I always said, anytime The Office went to 44 minutes of content over 22, I was like, I really hate when they do this. Comedy is supposed to be 22 minutes. It's supposed to be perfectly timed. But the reason why this show is so good is because it has a Law and Order element to it. It's a procedural cop show with some of the best comedy and reference humor, not like Family Guy reference humor, but just good, solid like references, like casually. Sean Spencer is one of the most charismatic on-screen personalities of all time, and Burton Guster is like, I would rank him number 1 on my all-time favorite characters. The nicknames, there's just a million reasons to watch this show. There's 8 seasons, there's a musical, there's a movie, there's another movie. So
Big Show was in the movie, Charlotte Flair was in the movie.
I mean, it is like they have a lot of guest stars. They've had almost everybody from The Breakfast Club on except Emilio Estevez, and they make fun of him for it. So if you like 80s and 90s, like just go watch Psych. I will sponsor your Amazon Prime account if you don't have it.
Well, thank you. You already have. No, I have him. That's the one thing I have on my own. Billy's my dealer. Psych, I definitely don't watch a lot of this. My wife watched, I think, the whole show, but I recommend when me and Billy did like a pilot of something we were trying, you had me watch one episode. Fantastic. It's really hard for me to hear you say that this is the best buddy like comedy duo. Like it's
better than Scrubs.
I just always think JD and Turk are just such like
it's the same dynamic though. It's the black and white buddies. They make beautiful music. That's what they do. Beautiful music.
They make their own kind of music. Lost is not on my list, but I do recommend. Lost is having a huge resurgence, by the way, with all this quarantine stuff. Like Twitter, Reddit, the Lost Reddit is
hash, right? Quarantine.
Oh my god, dude, it's unbelievable. For me,
quick side note though, I did get kicked off the Lost message boards during the height of Lost. Probably, I don't know, what is that? 20 years ago? No, 10.
No, like
2005.
Yeah.
So 15 years ago, because I always said he's crazier than a pet coon.
Oh my god!
Line, and somebody reported that for being racist when I was literally talking about a raccoon. Like I was devastated because that was my first real deep dive into geekdom.
We were talking about that all the time.
We would watch the show twice, then we would call each other.
Yes,
talk about it.
Yeah,
we would watch it twice.
That show was my favorite. So I think it's my all-time because nothing grabbed me like that. But anyways, a show that I really enjoyed watching, and I still will stand by the best adaptation of a Stephen King novel. It is The Outsider on HBO. Great start to a show. I'm not going to say the finish was all-time favorite, but it basically ramps up. There's a couple episodes and then they're like, but it's Stephen King, and Stephen King mostly blows. But this show is very interesting. It takes place. I don't actually know what state, but it's basically about some sort of. We'll just go with some demon type being that is demonic, that too, being that is out there that is like wreaking havoc and feast on children. It's a very intriguing show. I highly recommend it if you're into anything that's, sci-fi, but also Jason Bateman. The reason I got into the show, he's in it, and he also is the producer of the show. I always find when one of my favorite actors produces something, gets behind the whole show itself, not just being on the show, I always it gives me another level of enjoyment. So
a lot of episodes of Psych are directed by Sean, and the character Sean Duell Hill, and I see his name every day. Whatever Sean Spence's real name is, I know it. It'll come to me eventually. But I did listen to the whole Dork podcast, even the spoilers of this episode, the Outsider, just because I was like, I'm kind of on the fence about this. And even after hearing the spoilers, I was like, yes, I'm gonna watch this show. I love Jason Bateman. I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi, not sci-fi, but horror-ish stuff. Yeah. But this seemed like it would be kind of up my alley.
Yeah, one of the characters, I have to find out what her name was, Holly. She's played by Cynthia Avino. I believe she was Harry. Excuse me?
You said Avino, right?
Yeah. And VO or something like that. I don't know how to say it. But her character is Holly. She's somewhat psychic. She's just very intriguing. Yeah. She's a certain set of skills that really plays a big part in the show, and she's very intriguing. She's introvert, kind of quirky. There's a couple of police officers that are really in the same level as her. There's a love story underneath too that is just to die for. It's a really, really good show. It has a little bit of everything, but mostly it's Ben Mendelsohn, who is one of the intergalactic dudes from
Planetary.
Yes, is one of those. I forget the names of their characters in Captain Marvel, and then obviously no spoilers about that, but Captain Marvel, he's the Green Goblin dude. He's the main guy who eats dinner with them at the house. He's just really, really good in the show. I've never really watched him. I didn't know he's British either. I knew he's British. When you watch in the show, there's so many British actors that do better American accents than I think.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It really is. But Ben Mendelsohn,
when you hear a British actor speaking normally, the dude who just got coronavirus, the black hunky dude,
Idris Elba.
Yeah, when you hear him speaking his regular voice, I'm like, this guy is unbelievable. I love that guy. So, knock on wood to him and everybody else that might have this thing. Should we go to the number one?
Let's go to our number. Well, should we? Yeah, go to number ones, and we'll. Should I recap real quick? Why don't we both recap? Why don't you go through your 1 through 11?
Right.
Through 2.
11, Community, must watch. Twin Peaks, if you have the time. That's my 10. To Marry Me at number 9. Free on Crackle, go do it. Number 8, but make sure it's Arthur Dudley Moore version because the other one sucked. 7, Last Man on Earth, free on Hulu. 6, it's a wrestling freebie. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, just YouTube it, just do it. 5, Big Mouth, shared for both of us. Clue, my favorite movie of all time, cannot recommend enough. 3 is Sirens, go check it out. And 2, please, if you like comedy, if you like Law and Order, and that pretty much covers every human on Earth, go watch my number 2, Psych.
Okay. So I'll recap mine as well. So again, these are 11 things we believe you should be checking out while quarantined. For me, I'll just go down. It doesn't need numbers. Masked Singer, Ozark, The Hunt, The Invisible Man, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Big Mouth, old Tom Brady games, will shed a tear, old WrestleManias, The Sinner, any of the seasons, particularly season 1, The Outsider. So Billy, you're number 1.
My number 1, and just a quick aside, I've had only drinks I've had tonight. I've had this 4-seam and then this 4-seam, which is pretty much still full, and I'm already a little tipsy.
Okay, good. Thank you for that update. Slide in those DMs, folks.
Please.
You can see his Twitter right there. No, it's the other side.
I'm getting it's weird because it's
what's your number 1, Bill?
My number 1, and I rented it on the streaming services recently, and I cannot recommend it enough. Mm-hmm. Jojo Rabbit. There's no way, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but if you do not watch it within this quarantine, I'm going to bring people I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
I'm not going to do it. But it is.
Where can I watch this? I've never seen it. I still haven't seen it.
So you can get it on YouTube, Amazon, Vudu, Google Play. It's $5.99 to rent. But I would suggest you just buy this movie because you will want to watch it again. I've already seen it 2 times since. I'm a crier. I cry at Scrubs. I cry at everything. Like Felger says it often. he gets worked up at a good national anthem. I've cried at like regular, not even the Whitney Houston one. I get emotional over everything. This is one of the greatest movies ever made, hands down. Taika Waititi is a genius.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot he did this.
He plays Hitler in the movie because he wrote it and was like, they were like, you have to play it. We can't ask another. What about Parasite? Watch Parasite. That's probably what I'm gonna do tomorrow night is watch Parasite.
I don't read movies.
No, I got to because I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah, my sister told me, but we're not talking. No, if you have any suggestions, please pop them on there.
Yeah, pop them up.
To discourage the crowd.
But Jojo Rabbit, the greatest ending to a movie ever.
Whoa!
I really do believe it is the greatest movie ending ever. It's better than Shawshank. It is absolutely
better than Shawshank.
Yes, I really do. I really think it's a better ending than Shawshank. I cried like a baby 2 separate times in this movie. It is beautiful. It is epic. It's a comedy. I guess you would say it's a comedy, but it just hits every emotion. Everything that Taika Waititi wanted you to feel, you felt. Every time he wanted you to be high, you were high. Every time you wanted to be low, you were low. And the thing that I will say is at certain points in the movie, you're never bored. There's never really a lull, but you're just like, that's interesting. Why are they talking about that? And then everything comes back in just perfect punctuation all over the place. I cannot recommend this movie enough.
So it's first of all, I'm going to have to check that out. $5.99. That sounds a little rich for my blood, but
I will send people $5.99 if needed.
My Venmo is always open. No, but honestly, it's just one of those movies that like when I first heard about it, I always got this one in the Peanut Butter Falcon confused because I don't know if it's just the weird like titles of the movies. But both I've heard really good things, but this one specifically, everybody like obviously like Mac from Mac and Goo was talking about it from like the jump. I know those guys see some of these previous screenings, so like they were talking all about this movie.
I think Mac has the same level of like passion about this movie that I do. It is really, it's must see. Like they re-released it in theaters. I mean, I think that during the quarantine, like. If I can do a GoFundMe to put it on for free on your local access, just this is how good of a movie it is.
I dig it. For me, number one, the only reason this is my number one, it's I guess like when I was making this list, I was like, this is what I'm currently watching and I'm currently enthralled with. It's called Little Fires Everywhere. It is on Hulu currently. It's a Hulu original. Reese Witherspoon, Kerry Washington, Joshua Jackson. It is very interesting. If you're
old school actors.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. Venmo. I don't know if you can steal from someone's Venmo, but that's
Evan, I will legit Venmo you $5.99.
Do not do that.
I'm doing it.
Oh, hold on, let me type my Venmo. I actually don't know what my Venmo is. Oh God, no, mine's like has numbers in it. Anyways, but yeah, Little Fires Everywhere. Very interesting. You need it again. Here it is. It's very do like $2.99. Split it.
No, I'm giving it to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I fully support this.
Jesus, get Billy drunk and he'll start sending
you. Somebody, if you're in the chat, you get one more. I will Venmo you $5. Like that'll be the thing. I will Venmo people free $5.99s for Jojo Rabbit every time we do this one time. That's
not going to happen. But then we'll do it tonight. So, anyways, but yeah, for me, it is Little Fires Everywhere. It's a very interesting show. I'm not usually into like this. Seems like it could be like an ABC Sunday night drama, but it has. We can't really make it out. It's kind of bright. But yeah, it is a show definitely worth your time. It's so they did 3 episodes in one. Like they've released them. Hulu's doing the every week release thing, which I'm usually all about. I'm down for that. But right now in these times that we're living in, just release all those things. You can lower the volume if you want. I think my wife just joined to see what the hell we're talking about because she can't hear you. Yeah, you're in.
I'm in.
Anyways, but she's like, now she's in. I'm like, we're wrapping up in 2 minutes. But yeah, so Little Fires Everywhere. It's a book. I don't know who wrote it. It's definitely not like Nicholas Sparks. It's more dramatic. Everything about this show, though, is super, super dramatic. There's racial undertones. There's I don't want to say abduction, but you can check it out. Again, it's on Hulu. It's free on Hulu. It's a Hulu original. Reese Witherspoon, like I said, who plays this character. She plays like this uppity white woman, privileged. Is so damn perfect. She has 4 kids.
She is underratedly amazing at acting.
I completely agree. There's been some real stinkers in her career, but like she is a very talented actress. And I think especially in these later years, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Jennifer Aniston. Like you didn't really take her too seriously. She was like cute, younger and like attractive. Now it's like she's a legit actress. Like,
I mean, legit. I forget what movie it was that she was in.
Cruel Intentions.
No, I mean everybody knows that one. It came out like a few years ago, and I think it was like a stalkerish movie. But she's like dancing in her living room, and I'm just like, good lord, is this woman still
the one with Paul Rudd when he can't figure out how to like marry a girl?
Maybe, I don't know, but Reese Witherspoon, incredible all-time hottie.
Yeah,
Up there with Jessica Biel. I think Jessica Biel is an underrated all-time hottie. Like, just Chuck and Larry, that scene.
Oh, you gotta go with Summer Catch. It's the bathing suit scene. It's like icon. That's like what the kids used to do Phoebe Cates.
I'm gonna say we should put a poll out. What's the better scene, Summer Catch or I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry?
Well, of course, people are gonna end up saying I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry because it's boobs. Boobs are always gonna win.
No, it's not boobs. It's butt.
No, he grabs her boobs. And
no, it's the scene where they get out of the rain and she's all wet.
Yeah, it's all the same scene. It depends on what asset you want to look at.
All right, fair enough. Now we get creepy.
How about this? How about I get the hell off of this so you can go watch that yourself with your with your numerous amounts of toilet paper back there. But yeah, so those are just things that we've been watching, we're checking out. We can post these lists. Thank you guys for obviously catching up with us. If you're obviously these are Billy's and I's Twitter handles, jump on there, give us a follow. Our podcast currently constituted is Rossi on Wrestling. Give it a shot on iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. There's going to be some updates coming soon. Can't believe I didn't sign on to this earlier. Oh, no. I wonder who that is.
That's the wife right there.
That's it. That's Din in the house. I'm in. That's what she said. Look at that. So yeah, I think that these are shows we're checking out. Obviously, thank you guys for some of the recommendations that were texted in or chatted in. I checked on Twitter. Some people were just tweeting at us like just nice things. Also got a super nice message about our wrestling themes. I sent it to you, Billy, earlier. Those obviously I'll post some of those tonight. Our wrestling March Mania second round will probably wrap up tonight and tomorrow. Well, maybe I'll wait till tomorrow because Monday Raw more people on. But yeah, we're in the midst of a second round there. Jump in, just trying to do our part to kind of have some distraction content. We're gonna have probably a few of these a week with different topics from some wrestling stuff, some pop culture stuff, whatever you guys want, just to get away from it all for a little bit, maybe an hour, maybe a little shorter. Depends on the day. Yeah,
we should run a poll actually. What our next non-wrestling topic should be.
Okay, that's good. Anybody, we'll stay on for another like 2 minutes. Anybody, on the chat, if you want like a certain topic that you would like, be like, I'd listen to you guys talk about that, or hey, I want to join in on that conversation. Let us know. Is it whether it's food products, whether it's different entertainment outlets?
So Emerson Latzia,
yes,
of
the Emerson Latzia Corporation
of DraftKings and Nessun fame, obviously.
Yes,
but he was wondering if we could take calls. So we should figure out if we could take calls.
I don't believe so. I think I've checked on that, but you know what? I'm not above answering on my GD cell phone.
Put it on speaker.
You put it on speaker, whatever. By the way, I just got a message showing that you did pay, for that.
Yeah, dude, I told you I will for the next 3 of these.
No, don't. Enough.
No. We're doing one shot. We are doing it. $5.99 the next 3 episodes.
The reason snacks. So you want the quarantine snack? Oh, maybe a top 11 quarantine snacks.
Yes.
All right. You know what? I will give out a freebie right now. Peanut butter and jelly.
No, don't spoil. Don't.
No. Peanut butter and jelly in a wrap.
You know what's funny? The person who suggested that, I made several of those over the past few days. Peanut butter and jelly. And a wrap. Yes, we have these wraps that my wife loves, so I just put a little smear. I go jelly first, then the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Because I find that if you do the peanut butter first, it's too.
You know the difference between jam and jelly, right?
Yeah. Sure do. Are you more of a jam? Forget about the joke, but are you more of a jam or a jelly guy?
Jelly, definitely jelly.
Jelly, yeah. I haven't had a PB&J.
All right, last thing. Strawberry or grape?
If I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna go with grape. I'm a grape guy. You do strawberry?
Oh yeah.
When God created this planet, it was grape jelly. It wasn't strawberry jelly.
Yeah, that's why everybody gets a redo. That's why everybody gets a redo.
You get one albatross?
Yeah.
See, to me, my wife is now shouting out different ones. She's like, what about orange marmalade?
Marmalade. That's my favorite Family Guy. That's my favorite Family Guy clip of all time. That's it. But when he's like, yes, Mr. Giraffe, get all the marmalade when he's sleeping.
You know what? I'm going to give her credit. Sometimes she comes up with some really good ideas. Maybe we'll do quarantine snacks next, and that could be one to definitely interact. Maybe we could do that either maybe Tuesday.
All right, I'm down.
I'm sure you have a real busy schedule ahead.
Nope, I'm not going anywhere.
So yeah, maybe Tuesday we'll do quarantine snacks, top 11s.
All right.
And people better come out in droves. All right. I better be hearing some emotional things because TV, I can understand people. There's so much things to watch, but snacks, there is a hierarchy.
I mean, one of the first Mac and Goose I listened to was yours, the Seinfeld one. But then I watched the meat one, and that got me fired up. That was ridiculous.
A lot of people got upset about that.
They had some ridiculous takes on meat.
Yeah, and it still is. But you know what? You got to love it. That's good content right there. So, again, thank you guys so much for checking it out. We're just trying to do our part to kind of, entertain ourselves, So if a bonus by entertaining anybody from your end, great. Love it. Again, don't forget, follow us on Twitter. Billy's Instagram's a little different, but you can find it through there.
Subscribe, Billy D2411, Billy D1115.
Yeah.
Search Billy D.
Yeah, just search for, there's a lot of them out there.
I know, right?
Surprisingly, and that's not a joke. But again, just always want to wrap these up just saying if you're, this is definitely some weird times. We're on here now. There's so many other people where they're streaming video games, movies. There's all these different outlets. If you ever need somebody to chat with, obviously both of us are around. We have a lot of time on our hands for better or for worse, but definitely, Billy, there it is. Billy gets drunk, and I'm sure he's a great conversationalist when he's drunk. But yeah, yeah, don't go this thing alone. Don't be sitting if you're like a single and you're not living with anybody and you just need somebody to chat with or shoot the crap. Like, message us. We're totally down for that. Down for a conversation. I've been catching up with a lot of people I haven't talked to in a long time. It's actually kind of funny what this has done to our communication style. Yeah, the Jobber Knocker. Give them a shout again. Did they just text you to lift that up again?
No. Drink Billy is wearing a Jobber Knocker shirt. That's one of our things during the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, but he never mentioned them, so I didn't drink that. Kevin, if you next one, all right, the last one I was like bombed because Billy was it was like every other word.
I mean, Nestle crushed it in his return. What do you want?
Hey, listen, like guys like him, I can only imagine what he's going through. He's got two twin newborns. Like, yowza! I have a 3-month-old, and it's tough enough. Single. Does he have an au pair?
No, I mean, no. He has a wife, but like that is
no. You need an au pair. Does he have an au pair?
No.
Oh.
You need like 3 people to take care of at least like 1 kid.
Crap. But anyways, again, just so if you ever, bored or just like feeling that like, oh my God, I can't deal with another moment of this, or just feeling those, negative or crap, give us a shout. We listen. Some guy, like I said, messaged us on Twitter today. It was such a nice message talking about how this, like, we're doing this poll and it's brightening up his day. It's just taking him away from stuff. So that's what it's all about. Not just us, but there's other outlets too. Like I said, there's video game streamers. There's all these different classic things on television right now without live sports, which is definitely starting to weigh on me. Like, not having the NBA or like the NHL right now is kind of getting to that point. I'm like, damn, I miss it.
I mean, I'm playing more Madden, and I played a lot of Madden recently. I'm playing more Madden now than I have ever. Probably like 4 games a day because we just switched to all Madden, and that's a big deal. So
you have to catch the ball yourself. You have to block more. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. All right, but again, our podcast is Rossi on Wrestling currently. Go check that out. Leave it a 5-star review. Subscribe. We'll be popping up some episodes there. We'll also be doing some more stuff on YouTube. Not just these. We'll probably be changing the format in the channel, but we'll get to all that. Thank you guys so much for joining us on your Sunday night. We appreciate it. Bill, any final words?
I love you all.
All right, Frank says hi. It's that awkward ending where